Assalamu alaikum, Brother Sebastian, and welcome to Inspired Afternoons on Salam Media.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much.
So tell me, how is Ramadan going in Sweden?
It's going well and it's going fast, moving along.
That's what we're already in the final third, uh, the night of where we'll find or seek Laylatul Qadr, in the
That's
time we
right.
need to amplify our prayer and our connection with the Almighty. So tell me a little bit about your fast. When is iftar? Let's start there. What time do you break your fast? What time is iftar currently in Sweden?
Iftar right now, well, it depends on where you live, of course. We're a long country. I'm in Stockholm right now, so in the middle of the country, you could say. And it's right before 6 p.m. over here right now.
So it's 6 p.m. So okay, so your breakfast every day at 6 p.m. So I'm taking it in Stockholm. You have different time zones.
We have the European time zone.
You in the European time zone, and tell me, traditionally, do people go to you break fast in the masjid, in a communal, or how is the iftar fast breaking?
If you do it together, it's usually always in the local masajid. That's really the only place, unless you have some university students that are very organized. But yeah, usually in the masjid.
Excellent. And then tell me, how's the Tarawih Salah going? Tarawih prayers going in Sweden? Do you have, in South Africa, besides the masjid, we have like venues where people, even in their homes, they get all the hufas together and then they perform Tarawih at various venues across different suburbs in communities in South Africa. How is the Tarawih experience in Sweden?
Well, actually, the only time I've heard about Tarawih being performed at a different place than the masjid was the year of the coronavirus, where the masajid were basically closed over here. Other than that, as a rule, they're performed in the masajid.
And Brother Sebastian, tell us a little bit about the Islamic community in Sweden, because Sweden is presumably a minority Christian country, and that so in terms of the Islamic community and the masjids around Sweden, are they how many masjids, and is it easy accessible? And just tell us a little bit more about the Muslim community in Stockholm in Sweden.
Sure. Yeah, Muslims are a rather small minority. We don't have an official census on the numbers, but the estimate is between 5 to 10% of the population. Most of, you can say now all the bigger cities, if you can call them big. I mean, Sweden is a small country in itself with about 10 million inhabitants. But the big cities all have some form of masjid. I mean, I'm being liberal with the word masjid. Some form of place where you gather and pray, at least. There are not that many masjid that have been built for the sole purpose of being a functional mosque. It's usually some other type of venue that's been renovated and converted into a mosque, but in essence, I would say most places where you have at least a decent size community, a few Muslims, they usually organize very well, and they find some sort of place that they can at least use as a musalla, if not as a proper masjid.
Yeah, and then the community itself, I'm sure you have people that originally were from diaspora from all over the world. They come Muslim diaspora from all over the world. Tell us a little bit about the cultural makeup of the Muslim population around Stockholm.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's very diverse, so that's nice. You get to meet people from all over the Muslim world. Sweden, at least earlier in Swedish history, they have tried to make this harder now lately. But it's a country that historically has accepted a lot of immigrants, especially from war-torn countries. So we have a lot of people from Syria, Afghanistan, Somalia, Iraq, Palestine. So it's diverse, and it's nice to see. It's a really good and broad mix of people that come together.
No, it's lovely because that's the fabric about the Muslim community. It's, we all come from different nations, tribes, backgrounds, but alhamdulillah, we are all united by the kalima, and that's what makes Islam so special, that, our strength is in our diversity in terms of culturally, but yet, when the Iqamah is given and the Imam says Allahu Akbar, we all in our rows, we all ready, and we all submitting to the will of Allah.
That's right. Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
And then tell me, in terms of, sorry, can I just ask, are you a Swedish national, born Sweden, or you have relocated to Sweden?
No, I was born here.
Okay, so you were born here. That's lovely. And then in terms of your suhoors, is there like a staple for suhoor happening in Sweden, or everybody just does everything, the taste according to your palate? Or is there like special suhoor traditions in Sweden?
No, culturally, we're not that far along yet. So most people, they follow their native background when it comes to that. So each household for themselves, I guess. Same thing with the iftar. The nice thing is that if you do iftar in the masjid, sometimes you have different families on different days bringing their dishes, so you get different tastes from different parts of the world. But as far as the Swedish community, we haven't, been that well established yet, unfortunately. But it's going to take time, but we'll get there.
Inshallah. So if sometimes you go to the masjid, you might find something from the subcontinent, the samosa, which I'm going to be speaking about later, just tracking the origins of the samosas. Do you find samosas in Sweden?
Yeah, I find it in my own house, as a matter of fact, because my wife is from Somalia, so she might have something to say about that historical discussion about where it comes from.
Look, that's going to be a hot potato. That's going to be a debate. Who owns the samosa? I'm looking forward to that, because I think everybody is now put a various spin on it, because I have some good Turkish friends, and now also on the iftar table there's samosas as well. So that's going to be an interesting debate, that the origins and who owns the samosa that can call it, it's ours. And like you've said, now in your own household in Sweden, mashallah, through your wife, you do have samosa. So that's really interesting and exciting. And tell me, what is it in terms of itikaf? Are you allowed in Sweden? I don't know what's the regulations and that for people to sit in the masjid and observe itikaf.
It's possible in some masajid that they will allow it, not across the board. Like I said, many of them are very small. We don't really have too many masjid that fit that many people. The biggest masajid in Sweden might fit a few hundred people praying, so space is rather limited, but on a local level, you can probably find a place where you can do it if you really want to.
Alhamdulillah. And in terms of places of madrasas and places where the youth can go and learn a Quran as well as hifz and ulums like this, are there any in Sweden or in Stockholm where you'd be able to go in and learn hufaz and memorize the Quran?
These places are usually also part of the masajid. They don't exist separately from that.
Yeah, but alhamdulillah, there is a facility. So if there's some youngsters in Sweden who have the yearning, or even adults that would like to go and memorize.
Yes, alhamdulillah. But it's part of the masjid activity, so to say.
Alhamdulillah. And then we're going to go for a short break, but I'm going to leave this. When we come back, tell us a little bit about who is Brother Sebastian Abdesalaam Blasco in terms of, Islam in your journey, and also you're an author. So I want to discuss that and focus, move the conversation along. So we'll chat to you after the break. We're going to go for a short.
All right.
You are listening to Salam Media live from our headquarters in South Africa. This is Salam Media, keeping you company this Ramadan.
You South African, of course. You anxious about the future. We've got you covered. Build on your wealth portfolio with Randry Jewelers Gold Coin Exchange. Visit us at 151 Stephen Dlamini Road, Musgrave, Durban, or call us on 031-202-4700 for more information. Randry Jewelers Gold Coin Exchange, your passport to gold investment.
With Ashraful Aid this Ramadan, your zakat changes lives. It feeds families facing hunger, restores dignity to those in need, and brings hope where it is needed most. From food relief to essential support, your zakah reaches communities with care, transparency, and impact. Give with confidence, give with trust. Make your zakah count this Ramadan. Give your zakah to Ashraful Aid and help change lives today.
When the perfect blend of stylish decor, exquisite halal cuisine, and warm hospitality come together, it could only mean Al Bayt Lodge, your true home away from home. Al Bayt is the ideal heaven for families, business people, and tourists with its 4-star family rooms and other luxurious facilities. Conveniently situated close to Port Elizabeth Airport, the beach, and other amenities, your stay will be truly unforgettable as you'll be taking home lasting memories of the warm hospitality, the serenity and tranquility that Al Bayt has to offer. For reservations, call 041-583-6415 or visit www.albaytlodge.co.za.
With so many investment options today, it's only natural that you might feel a little confused which route to take. Should I buy shares or should I invest in gold bullion? Randery Jewelers now brings you the Zahab coin, an alternative to the Kruger Rand. The Zahab coin, a solid wealth protector in its purest form of 24-karat gold, is the safest way to protect your wealth. So don't just sit there and watch your paper money depreciate. Change to gold. Call Randery Jewelers now at 031-202-4701 or visit www.rjcoin.co.za, situated at 151 Essenwood Road, Musgrave, Durban. Randery Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
You are listening to Salam Media live from our headquarters in South Africa. This is Salam Media, keeping you company this Ramadan.
Welcome back. Yes, and you're in the company of Mariam Mia here on Inspired Afternoons only on Salam Media. And join me in conversation all the way from Stockholm in Sweden is brother Sebastian Abdesalaam Blasco, born in Sweden. And now we're just going to find out a little bit about brother Sebastian himself. So as you've mentioned, you were born in Sweden. I take it raised in Sweden as well?
Yeah, that's right. I'm born here to a Swedish mother and a Spanish father, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I was wondering the Blasco surname sounded Spanish to me. So
Yeah.
okay, so put that to rest. Okay, so I suppose you speak Spanish as well.
I do, as a matter of fact, yeah.
And tell me, in Sweden, what's the Swedish? So you speak English, Swedish, and Spanish.
Personally, yeah, I speak English, Swedish, and Spanish. Yeah.
Okay, do something. I just want to try and get your Spanish accent because you have a very good English accent. So I think I'd say something for us in Spanish.
Aquí en Suecia estamos ayunando de momento y esperando la hora del iftar.
I swear that came from somebody from Barcelona.
Almost, yeah, you're getting close.
I was getting close there. I was thinking now, you know what? Just sounds like somebody from Barcelona. And how would it sound in Sweden about the iftar? Swedish.
Oh, you really want to hear this?
Yes.
Ja, vi fastar här i Sverige just nu och vi väntar på att klockan ska bli 6 så att vi får göra våran iftar.
Sure. We're going all the way from Scandinavia to the Mediterranean and back to England in terms of languages around the world. And I just love how you can pivot from one accent to the other and you know, you won't be any wiser. And thanks, that was interesting. And tell me, in terms of then Muslim, did you embrace Islam later, or were you born Muslim?
No, I embraced it a little bit more than 20 years ago now.
Oh, subhanallah. So that's long. So tell us a little bit about your journey to Islam.
How many hours do you have? No, I'm just joking. It started out, here in Sweden, it's a very, I think you called it a Christian majority country earlier, which I wouldn't really agree with. It's a very, very secular country where most religions, including Christianity, these days are seen as strange. The norm is not really for people to be religious, and you can really see it when you go through the school system and everything. Religion is not something that's emphasized at all, especially not in public life. And that's pretty much how I grew up also. But alhamdulillah, I had friends growing up from many different parts of the world, some of them Muslim, so it was at the end of high school, basically moving into my university years, that I guess I started researching a little bit on my own, thanks to friends who were, I guess, nudging me in the right direction. So it was rather spontaneous. It wasn't something that was really planned. It obviously it wasn't planned on my behalf. It was part of the bigger plan. But
yeah, but did you have like search in you, like when I speak to those that go on this journey and find Allah and then come back to Islam and revert, they in their heart is there's some void or something that propels them, that search. Did you have that feeling?
I don't know about a void. It was more so maybe curiosity, and I think I was open-minded enough. I mean, if you don't have it, there is going to be a void, naturally speaking. But it wasn't a void that I was aware of, at least. It was more so, I guess, interest that sprung up inside of me.
And tell us that spontaneously, that's that time when you decided, or when you recited the Shahada. When was that? What was that context?
The context was actually that I was by myself, and I was reading. I had a friend who pointed me towards a website. Before this, I did have a copy of the Quran, and it had the Spanish translation in it. I had received this like maybe, I don't know, a year previously from a friend at the university, since he knew I spoke Spanish. But I didn't really, I looked through it a little bit, but didn't really study it. But the day that I said the Shahada, I was actually in my house. I had the Mus'haf there, and I was actually in front of the computer screen because I was reading on this website that my friend pointed me towards. So that morning when I woke up, I had no idea that I would say the Shahada later on in the day.
And then something drew you to reciting the Shahada? Or?
Yeah, the more I was reading on the website, because it was really like the first time I really received an explanation of what the Quran was teaching and Islam as a whole. I came in from a background where I was, I had basically no knowledge except for, things that are broadly known that you learn in school and so forth. So it just became like a moment of clarification where things started making sense.
Subhanallah. And then how did your journey progress in terms of you learning? Because, Islam is not just like a religion in terms of, if you look at it's a complete way of life, how you eat, how you take ablutions, everything you do, there's a way, there's a intention, there's a purpose in everything you do. So it's a complete way of life. So in terms of learning this new way of life, how was the journey then? Was it easy to find people to support you and guide you through this way of life?
No, it wasn't easy at all, actually. It took time. It took longer than it should have, but the problem was that the brothers that I had around me that I was socializing with, that I knew from growing up, they weren't really that practicing themselves at that point in their lives. I mean, we're talking early 20s here for me and most of my friends at this time. So nobody really taught me, how to read Fatiha, or, let's go to the masjid. This is how you do wudu. Like even the basics, they would talk a lot about it, but it was more like discussions, basically. It took quite a while until I met brothers who actually could teach me the practical steps and, really get me going.
Subhanallah, all in good time. And I guess maybe, that is Allah's way for you to do this in like 20 years. But like you say, once you get older, you get wiser. And I think as you get older, you connect more with Allah. And a lot of things make sense to you as you're growing there. But Alhamdulillah, like you say, you found this way of life. You connected with the Almighty. And today you are, Alhamdulillah, a representative, supporting people in the work you do, in terms of giving them comfort, in terms of supporting them in their rehabilitation in many aspects. And that, so how has then that in terms of it became something that you do as a vocation or career? How did that come about?
It was just a result of me deepening my level of practice and also learning more and coming to the realization that I wanted to do it in a form where not only me myself is benefiting from it, but where I could help others as well. And alhamdulillah, I found work that I could do where I can actually benefit people through it. So it's been great for me.
And in terms of your accepting Islam, and that, how did family members and friends who were not Muslim or understanding of Islam, how were you received by that? Were they supportive? Were they understanding, or did you feel ostracized? How was that journey?
In my case, it was all right. They struggle. I mean, I don't have any siblings, so it was only me and my parents, and then obviously all the friends I had around me that were not Muslim. My family was, I don't know if understanding is the right word, but they tolerated it. They weren't negative. Alhamdulillah. I know I came across some people that have had very tough times after converting. Unfortunately, that wasn't really the case for me, but I wouldn't say either that they were supportive, because I mean they didn't really understand what was going on. Then with time, they realized that this is something that's going to continue to be a part of my life, and then I think acceptance settled in. So it's been rather harmonious for the most part. I haven't had to deal with what some other people unfortunately have to struggle against.
Alhamdulillah. I mean, that is half the journey that makes it easy. So Alhamdulillah. And in terms of the broader Swedish community in Stockholm, and that, are people, is there any form of Islamophobia, or people are understanding and tolerant in terms of everybody else's belief system? Is that level of tolerance, or do you feel that once you announce that you are Muslim, you are treated differently, or people act differently towards you? How is that in terms of the broader society in Sweden, if somebody is observing Muslim?
There is quite a lot of Islamophobia, as a matter of fact. In many parts of Europe, Sweden is not singled out. What I've noticed here is usually in the bigger cities, it is less so, because people who are from bigger cities and have grown up in bigger cities, they have been exposed to more diversity. So many of them have had classmates or people they came across through sports or whatever that do come from different cultures. While people that grew up in smaller towns and such where it's not as diverse. You have some more close-minded attitudes. So there's a lot of work to be done on this front, and a lot of the responsibility lies on us as a Muslim community to carry and represent this religion in a beautiful way, like it should.
Yeah, because it is a beautiful way of life, and it's a caring, sharing way of life with unity, harmony, and I think central is the salam. Salam is central in peace. It is central. It's just that what it said, that through media and propaganda, lots of things of Islam, aspects of Islam, are taken out of context and then amplified very, very negatively, so that the broader community doesn't even learn to see and understand and appreciate the beauty of Islam. Also, like observing Ramadan, and that brotherhood and sisterhood of Islam, and that connection during Ramadan, and that sharing, and that they don't understand it or get to see it because it's not amplified. That aspects are just remain hidden. And as you say, it's our responsibility as the Muslim community to increase dawah, maybe have communal fasting, communal fast breaking iftars, and invite others to experience this iftar or the suhoor or certain aspects of Islam, which are the beautiful connecting social happiness aspects of Islam.
Yeah, and then they would need that over here, as a matter of fact, because this is a very individualistic society. Community is not something that's emphasized in Swedish culture, unfortunately. So they would benefit a lot from getting
Inshallah,
getting a sense of our Islamic culture.
Yes, inshallah, we're going to connect, and maybe we can get a group of South Africans to come over to Sweden in the form of dawah work, or we get the Jamaat to come and then connect with you. And also we can have such programs, dawah information programs, like you say, for them to experience, what is the essence of Islam in terms of the social fabric of Islam.
Yeah,
but it is,
you're most welcome.
Shukran. We're going to look forward to it. I'm putting this now on my list of places to visit, inshallah. But thanks so much for your time, for giving us your time now, especially in Ramadan. I'm sure still winter time, so it would be almost time to have your iftar. So please keep us in your prayers, like you will be in our prayers. And it was so good to connect with you here in South Africa on our Salam Media platform. You have a blessed ending to Ramadan, and Eid Mubarak to you and the family and the community out in Stockholm, Sweden.
I appreciate it. And before I go, I want to give a shout out and say salam alaikum to my brother Irshad, who lives in South Africa and used to live here in Sweden. One of my very good brothers, man. I love you.
Okay, so brother Irshad, if you're listening, otherwise we will share this link with you, brother Sebastian, and then you can share it with him so he can be sure to hear your shout out.
All right.
We're about in Johannesburg.
Look, I don't. I want to say Durban. He's going to hold me to this now if I get it wrong. He might have moved since he last updated me, but
Okay, so brother Irshad from South Africa, let's be safe and play it safe from South Africa.
Yeah.
There's a salam and a brotherly salam from brother Sebastian, inshallah. And please reconnect with him and update him exactly which town or city you are here. He will share this link of this interview with you. And inshallah, looking forward to further communication and connection with the Muslim community of Stockholm, Sweden, and here in Johannesburg, South Africa, through the Salam Media portal. It has been inspiring and educational as well as informative. Keep well with us, Sebastian. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We're going to go for a break, and thereafter we're going to be connecting with Professor Shahid Umar, and we are speaking about those markers or indication in the chest pains. What happens if you experience chest pains? All this after the break.